Hey everyone, I am Harsh Jain and welcome back to Blogging Unlocked. Today I am going to be going over SEO and why it's important. This is the first lesson of the module 3 and today's lesson is really important because along with creating amazing blog posts, you need to have a great knowledge about SEO too. Now you might be wondering why, and the actual answer to this question is another question. So let me ask you this. Did you know that 95% of online experiences start with the search engines? You may think, alright, there is the search engines out there and we sure know about Google, but just wait for a minute and think about how many times in a day you go on Google or YouTube and do a search. There are search engines all around us and we are constantly using them. So, as of now, we have covered the blogging introduction and website setup. And in this week of this program, as I mentioned, it will be all about introduction to SEO and keyword research. Today, I'm going to be going over the introduction and then after that, we'll end up diving into keyword research. So as I mentioned, it's a 10-week journey and as long as you follow along, you should see results, right? So let's get started. But before moving on, please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you don't already have for not missing all the upcoming videos of this course. So before we get started into going over SEO, there are few things that I wanted to cover. I have seen a lot of people sharing false information out there. So I just wanted to give you some clear insights about some facts. The first one of them is my industry is too hard to get rank in. Second one, only big companies can do well on Google. There is another which I always hear, the more pages I have the better, and there is something which people always say that I need to submit my site to Google or I need to spend a lot of money to win online. So let's start with all five of them, right? So saying about the first one, it doesn't matter what industry you are in because you can always rank on Google. And if it was only big companies that ranked well on Google, then you probably won't have found me, right? Also, the more pages you have better, it's also totally false. You will find a lot of websites out there who cut more than half of their content and turned it into lots of mini sites and eventually started getting more and more traffic. Coming to submitting a site to Google, so it's Google, right? You don't need to do any such thing. It detects your site automatically and you don't need to manually submit it. Now, of course, creating an account on Google Search Console is another thing and submitting your sitemap isn't a bad thing to do. We will cover that in the upcoming modules, but this is something you need to do and I recommend that to do. But there is no such thing that you need to submit your website to Google. It will automatically detect your website. And yes, you don't need to spend a ton of money to win online, and that's why I personally recommend doing SEO because you will get amazed after seeing the results you can get from SEO itself. I have shown you my organic results in the very first video, in the very first introduction part, where I have shown you my organic results which I have got from the Google, right? Just by doing SEO. And by the end of this video, you will understand the factors that are really important to Google if you want to rank really high, right? I'm also going to tell you how SEO will help you drive more and more traffic. For this, there are three main keys that you need to understand if you want to win online. So the very first thing is why SEO is important. See, SEO is a process of optimizing any given search word or phrase for a search engine in order to increase the rankings of your website or your video content or whatsoever. Speaking this in simple terms, it acts like a salesman for you. No matter what time of the day it is or what country people are in, what are they searching, you can be found online and you can get that traffic. And maybe some of it will end up converting into sales if you are into e-commerce or affiliate marketing. The best thing about SEO is even if you don't do anything for a week, you can still continuously get traffic. But if you are using paid Google ads and you stop paying money to Google, then your traffic dies down. And this is the fact you all are familiar with, right? Maybe in this tutorial, I will end up using some technical terms in terms of digital marketing, and maybe you are not familiar with them. But don't worry, I am gonna put everything into the PDFs. So the thing you need to do is just head over to harshjaindigital.com/coaching and download all the worksheets and PDFs right from the LMS itself. The next thing you need to do is you need to treat Google as your best friend, because it will be there for you anytime you need it, whether you are playing, whether you are watching something, or you want to go out for something, right? And according to the insights, there are almost 4.5 billion active internet users, and over 87% of them uses Google search continuously while using a desktop. So let me walk you through the basic of Google SERP. Now you might be wondering what in the world is a SERP. So SERP is simply Google search engine results page. It's a page that is returned to a user when a user enters a query into the search engine. But along with this, let me give you a real life example that you will recognize quickly. So you type a keyword or phrase into search engine. Let me give an example. Let me search for MailChimp, right? That's a tool for email marketing if you are all familiar with. So let's analyze what comes next. So there are almost 3 parts, 3 different sections on Google SERP whenever you search for something. The very first part is reserved for the ads, right? That's something you need to understand. The very first part is reserved for the ads. After that came the organic results, and in between there can be the local searches. Let me explain every one of them really quick so you can get an idea what I am talking about. So let me give you an example of what actually happens when you search for the MailChimp. So whenever you search for MailChimp, maybe you will find out that MailChimp is ranking on the number 1 position, but there may be a chance like this. When I search for that, I found another website showing their ad, and that is referred to as PPC, pay per click, right? It involves advertisers who pay to have their ads highlighted on the SERP. So with Google, there are actually 2 kind of paid ads that may appear. That can be text ads, as in this case of the MailChimp, and there can be shopping ads like I'm showing you right now, right? So in order to identify whether something is an ad or not, you just need to look at the icon of that, because ads are represented by ad icon. So whenever you search something, if you find out that at the very top there is something which has ad written on it, then it's a PPC ad, right? Shopping ads appear in a row at the top of the page or on the right hand side of the search results. And if you are not actually certain whether you are viewing a paid ad, then you can look for the word sponsored or ad to confirm that, right? And after that comes the local results. So when a user searches for a local business, service, or a product, Google responds with either a local park or a knowledge graph, and they are both managed in Google My Business. If you have heard about it, then you might know what I'm talking about, right? The local pack is connected to Google Maps, which displays a snippet of a map alongside 3 local businesses listings, which are dependent on the location of the person searching. And below that, there are organic results. So organic results are unpaid search results that are ranked based on several factors controlled by SEO. So these are the basics and the very fundamental elements of Google SERPs. So you need to keep them at the forefront of your mind as you build your SEO strategy, right? Now, there are some things that you need to do in order for your website to stand out from the others. So the thing you can do is head over to Ubersuggest. That is a tool by Neil Patel, and in there enter your domain and click on the site audit in the left navigation bar. It will break down factors that Google is looking at, from what's healthy and what is having issues on your website, and it will show you some recommendations you need to do in order to fix those issues. And trust me, you want to go through all of them because every issue impacts your website rankings. Now you might be thinking, yes, it's okay, we will do that, but what is the secret behind this? What we need to do in order to fix everything? So let me clear this for you, because it's not a one-time procedure, it's a lot of things that adds up, and I am going to go over them. So the very first thing is web page speed, because every second delay there will be a roughly 10% reduction in the conversion as per the insights over the web. So you want to make sure that your website loading speed is fast, and you can also check that in the site audit report in Ubersuggest, or you can go to Google Page Insight. That is another amazing thing to check out for your web page speed. The one thing that you need to keep in your mind, and the another factor of SEO, is your website must be mobile friendly, because there is 90% of the people who like to browse everything from their mobile. No one wants to take their PC or laptop every time with them whenever they have to search something. So keep this in your mind. Another thing you need to take care of is the URL length, right? Because the longer your URL length will be, the lower your rankings are. So make sure to fix this, because having a great and longer content is good thing, but having a longer URL is really not so good. And after that comes backlinks, which is another big factor. And trust me, backlinks have more impact on your rankings than on page SEO, and it's super important. Now if you are doing affiliate marketing or you are doing e-commerce businesses, then there is a security which is a very big issue as well. So you want to make sure that you are using a certificate, you are using a SSL certificate, so that it will help you get that HTTPS, right? Because whenever you visit a website which is not using SSL, you will more likely to get a warning of not sure. Have you seen that? I'm sure you must have seen that. Now what you need to do is you need to actually dive into the content, because ultimately understanding everything from scratch took time, and you need to practice and implement and learn whatever I am teaching you. So go through the PDFs and templates and worksheets from HarshGen Digital /coaching. All of them are important because you need to learn basics before we dive into the keywords research. I hope this would have helped you in understanding what SEO actually is and why it is important. Please subscribe to this channel and drop a like on this video if you feel like you actually have learned something. I am putting in lots of efforts for you guys, and I will really appreciate your support. Again, to download all the worksheets and templates, just go to harshgendigital.com/coaching, register and enroll yourself in the free course, and download everything from the LMS itself. If you have any questions, just leave a comment in the comment section explaining your problem. I will be there to respond. Don't worry. I am here for you guys, and I will be helping you as much as I can. You can also ping me up on my Instagram at @harshgendigital, or you can drop us an email at harshgendigital@gmail.com. We will try and answer as many emails as we can. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Till then, stay safe, stay happy.